Thurber here, and we are going to do a quick Q&A. For those of you who this is your first time to my channel, thank you for watching. Welcome. I am a high performance coach and lifestyle coach. I basically focus on people being intentional, getting shit done, looking at their lives as like a whole circle, and getting everything to work in balance to where you're getting what you want, you're succeeding, you're making money, everything's good, and you actually enjoy your life, and basically you're creating and molding your own reality. That is my jam. That is what I'm good at. If you want to learn more about me, like I said, if this is your first time, I'll put a link below. You can check out some of my stuff, and let's be friends. So basically what I'm doing is I get a lot of really random ass questions all of the time, and some of them are repetitive. So I threw out a couple of posts the other day to just get a collection of questions and basically be able to sit down in one moment in like the same place and be able to explain to you the answers to these questions. So I did not filter any of them out, and believe it or not, I didn't get any dirty questions, which was actually like, praise Jesus. That was nice. Like, thank you guys for not being pervs. Okay, anyway, Amy, let's get into it. So the first question was, do you like living alone? And if so, why? I have lived alone in this particular house for 3 years. I lived with a boyfriend before that, and before I moved in with him, I lived alone in a townhouse for a while. You know, I've moved a shitload in the last like 10 years, but this is not my first time living alone. I've done it probably consecutively. If I added it all up, like 6 years maybe, 5 or 6 years I lived by myself. Do I like living alone? Yes. I do like living alone. Does that mean that I would never want to live with another person again? No, absolutely not. I would really love to have a partner in life and somebody to be here, and it would be nice to share a lot of things, you know, with somebody else, and the exciting things that happen, and, you know, trials and tribulations, as well as great things and adventures and funniness. Like, I think I'm fucking hilarious, and there's never anybody here to see how funny I am, and so thank God for social media, and I can share it with you guys. But yeah, I really actually enjoy it. I think when I moved into this house, it was literally about 9 months or 6 months later, I left my full-time job and went full-time entrepreneur, very unplanned. It was kind of a spontaneous situation, or shall I say, like, you have one decision or this decision, like, which one are you going to take? And I took this one, and it left me here. And so I'm glad that I did, because I was able to have a lot of time, and without dealing with anybody else's energy or anybody else's frustration. I was really only answering to myself. I had a lot of space. I had, you know, paperwork everywhere, and I could stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning without answering to anybody about how crazy I was, and do what I needed to do to really get my business started and get that foundation built. And there's a lot of soul searching that goes along with writing or starting a business, especially the kind that I run. And so I'm very grateful to have had this space here in this house alone during that time frame. I don't dislike living alone. There are times, obviously, I wish somebody was here with me, but I'd rather be alone than be living with someone else and be unhappy. So that's a plus. And I have my dogs, and they're amazing, and basically everything stays where I put it, which is nice. And the only time that I don't like living alone is when I bring groceries home and I have to put them all away by myself. That sucks. But that's pretty much it. Yeah, no, anybody who hasn't lived alone and they're scared or thinking about it, I highly recommend it. I think you learn a lot about yourself when you live by yourself. It's a really great way to become super duper self-sufficient in a way that's you can really only experience if you live by yourself. So next question is, how did I fix my exhausted feeling? So I had a while where I've done a lot of trial and error on things in my life, different health issues, because doctors had never been able to really help me with different things. Different story for a different day. But I had publicly talked about how I could not feel like I was feeling so exhausted constantly for such a long time. There were a lot of factors that went into it, but I think like a few of the really, really important ones were I cut out caffeine to the point where I used to drink coffee all day. I fucking love coffee. But I typically only have 1 cup a day. It's like a 10-ounce cup. I make bulletproof coffee in the morning, and I drink that, and then the rest of the day I really just drink water. So I don't have a lot of sugar in my diet at all. Even natural sugars, I don't get a ton of that on purpose. And I don't drink any other caffeine. I don't take stimulants in my, you know, my supplements I take. I don't take pre-workout, anything like that. And that's made a world of a difference for me, not only in not being exhausted, but also like mental clarity. So reducing caffeine, upping water, glasses. I got these Prospect glasses, which are like blue light blocking glasses or whatever. I was just reading so many reports about how terrible it is. See, how terrible it is for your eyes to be staring at screens all day. I actually took this little retreat, like hiatus, to Tennessee and was by myself for 10 days. And one of the things I noticed, I was like, why am I so tired? My eyes are so tired. And like, I hadn't been doing anything crazy while I was there, so there was no reason for me to be so exhausted. But I had been doing a ton of writing on my computer, and that's when I really started researching this. I got these, and it makes a huge difference. I actually sleep a lot better too at night since using these. I can tell a difference if like a day goes by and I forget to put them on during the day. You know, I kind of just do my thing and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't wear my glasses all day today. I can tell a huge difference. The other thing is making sure I get up and take some breaks. I'm not just sitting at the desk on the computer all day long. So typically like every 90 minutes, I'll take 5 to 10 minutes and get up if it's a day that I'm like working a lot or doing a lot of computer work. And those are like the big things I'd say. The other thing is taking the time to actually clear my mind when I have a lot of thoughts going on. I do a lot of journaling, which I always did, but I think that helps a lot with the exhaustion as well. Next question, are you ever spontaneous? Well, so this comes up because one time I actually had a guy ask me do you even just schedule in sex? I was like, what? I'm sorry, what did you say? But I understand kind of where that comes from because I'm super planned and I'm super intentional with my time, and I do everything for a reason, and sometimes that reason is just because I fucking want to, but I do everything very strict by a plan. So people will say, can you do this? And I'll be like, no, I have plans, or no, I have this going on, or I'm not going to be done till whatever time. So I understand that it's easy to assume that I'm never spontaneous, but to be really honest with you, I'm spontaneous with people I trust. I'm spontaneous with myself. If I get the, wild hair to go do something, I do it. I don't stop myself from doing anything that I want to do. So therefore, I feel like I don't need to define like whether I'm spontaneous or not, because I just kind of do what comes to mind when I want to do it. Like this tattoo, I did think about for a really long time before I got it, but like the moment I was like, I'm doing this, I was doing this, like trips. I jump on airplanes all the time, just randomly whenever I want to go somewhere. I don't typically wait very often for shit that I want to do, so I guess I'm spontaneous and you guys don't really realize it. So anyway, next question is 1st Phorm the only product that you use? So meaning in the fitness health world. So I do talk a lot about 1st Phorm products, and I do use mainly 1st Phorm products. There are a few staples, and I'm actually going to do a separate video and completely talk about all the stuff I use all the time. So there are a few things that I don't, but 90% of the supplements and the things that I take for my health and fitness are 1st Phorm products, and here's why. First of all, they are local to St. Louis, and so they're sold in a store here. So you go into the store and you get to try all these different products. They don't just have 1st Phorm there, they have all kinds of different options. And I spent about 2 or 3 years trying different things. Like I'd have their product and I'd try something else because it was a price thing, or like someone else would mention it to me, whatever. And it just got to the point where I was like really sick and tired of even trying to like find something else when their product worked better. It worked better, it tasted better, I enjoyed it, it did what I needed it to do. So I got to the point where I'm like, why am I going to continue to try to find something else? Like that old saying, like, don't fix what, like, why are you trying to fix something that's not broken? So I just quit looking for other product, and I've never been let down by them. Everything I've ever used from that company fucking rocks for the most part, so for lack of a better way to describe it. So that's why I use their product. I've been using their product for over 6 years. Long before they had, like a big social media following and they were like the cool thing to do, I was using their product because it tastes better and it worked better and it blended better. So what's your biggest piece of advice to someone who's just getting started as a full-time entrepreneur? So that's a really good question. Like, remember why you're doing this, because times are going to get tough, it's going to get rough, it's going to get stressful, and you need to remember the reason, like the solid reason underneath of it as to why you're doing everything you're doing. That'll help you stay in integrity, that'll help you stay grounded, that'll help you stay focused. A lot of people tend to forget and lose sight of why they started, and they veer off course. They start acting out of integrity, which then eventually is destructive to your business and to your own mental sanity, and just a lot of things can snowball from there. The other thing is be patient. Shit doesn't happen overnight. Like, my business is still in a huge growth period, my business and brand, even though I've been doing this for like 5 years and I've been online and full-time entrepreneur for 3 years. It's nowhere close to like where I want it to be, and I don't know, I don't think anybody ever reaches like where they want to be necessarily, but like it doesn't happen overnight. And typically if it does happen overnight, for some people it's not sustainable and it doesn't last long. And I don't know about you, but like I'm in this shit for the long haul, like for the big game. So I wanted to build something with a really fucking solid foundation, and I've been doing that and staying really true to that. And I highly suggest that any of you who are starting a company keep that really, really like in mind, because it doesn't happen overnight. So stay patient, keep doing what you're doing, because that's what wins the race, is the people who are willing to do the little shit every single day and let it add up. Next question. How do you use your oils? Okay, I don't know if you guys can see. Can you see? Look. See that up there? I have a lot of essential oils. So I started using essential oils about 4 years ago. It was before I lived in this house. So yeah, like 4 years ago. Before it was like the cool thing to do. Now everyone's like, oh, essential oils, yippee. And I was like, I've been doing this shit for years. Basically, you're the whole reason my skin cleared up. I used to have a really bad acne, and they were a really big factor of me clearing my skin. Frankincense oil is very good for that. And also clears up scarring. I had a lot of scarring on my face, and it helped me with that a lot. Currently, I use them for if I have a headache. I use peppermint oil if I have, like, my hands get really rough from the gym, so I put lavender oil on them and rub it in. I have a sleep oil I put on the bottom of my feet before I go to bed at night. If you have any kind of rash, pimple, irritation, tea tree oil. There's just so many different things. I could go on for fucking 18 hours, but those are like the ones I probably use all the time. So if you have any questions about essential oils, I actually do distribute Young Living oils. I don't promote that ever, but I can help you get a good quality oil and tell you where to find it or whatever and what you can use it for. Or if you have a problem, I can usually give you a solution oil-based. Next question. What is your favorite fitness gear? Well, I would say, like clothing-wise, which I was assuming that's what they mean. Workout Empire has amazing clothes. Their pants fit me really, really well. So my body's changed a ton in the past couple of years, in the past year especially, and a lot of my old yoga pants don't fit me anymore because my booty got big. Booty gains. Not complaining, but not all pants are created equal. Not all pants are booty friendly. So their pants are. Workout Empire, I have a lot of different pairs of their leggings and they fit me really, really well, and I'm super happy that the material's thick, and so it's squat proof, so you can squat and nobody's going to see your butt crack through your pants. Those are really good, but they do come up really high, so I like to mix between high-waisted pants and like lower-rised pants. I do also come from the generation of women who, we were teenagers and our pants were low, like below our hip bones, which is still where I prefer my pants to be. It's just hard to find them that do that. So HTFU, which is Harden the Fuck Up. They also have just a few different pairs of workout pants. They don't have a ton, like a huge selection, but I really like the way they fit. I know there are other brands that are cut that way too. I just can't think of them off the top of my head right now. Are you religious? So this is always a fun, interesting question for me. I was born and raised Catholic. In the Catholic Church every single Saturday. We went to Saturday Mass at 5 o'clock. We sat in the front pew. I went through all of the sacraments up until 8th grade. And I mean, we went to church like that until I moved out of my parents' house, basically. And I still go to church. I am still Catholic, practicing. I enjoy the tradition of the Catholic Church in a world that doesn't have a lot of tradition and that is kind of always changing. It's a comforting thing to me to have that strong, firm tradition in the church. Do I agree with every single thing in the Catholic faith? No. Do I choose to allow the fact that I don't agree with everything one person says or like one group of people say stop me from like liking them, or do I let it push me into a negative place with them? Absolutely not. I believe that your faith is your faith, and that's yours to determine, and it's not anybody else's to comment on as far as I'm concerned. I think that if you are, whatever religious means to you, it means that to you. Do I think you should hide behind it and let it make you be a shitty person or treat people badly or be judgmental? No. Do I think that if you have every right to not believe in God if that's your choice, like whatever. But the biggest question I seem to get is, so I do believe in Catholic faith and I'm a practicing Catholic, but I do not go to church every Sunday. I don't always feel comfortable. After my grandma passed away, this is a little interesting note. After my grandma passed away, every time I get to church, I cry. It like makes me really emotional. But I also believe a lot in the universe, in energy, in the law of attraction, in angels, in spirit guides. Like, I believe in all of that shit. I'm a big fat hippie when it comes to all of that, and I'm actually going to do a separate video about this because I got so many woo-woo questions about energies and crystals and all of that, so I'm going to make a separate video about it. But yes, I believe in the earth. I believe in a lot of spirituality in general. I know the things that I feel and know from being super in touch with my own energy and my own intuition, that stuff exists. It's basically what's allowed me to build what I've built, is a lot of that faith in the law of attraction and using it to, help me basically and create what I want. So do I make any sense ever? Basically, no. So obviously, why would I make sense in this area either? So some people don't grasp that I can believe in both, but I do. So what reminder app do you use? I typically just use either Alexa, especially because I'm working from home. She actually talks to me, which grabs my attention, or I use my Google Calendar. And the reason is because it syncs with my computer, so when I'm on my computer, I have my phone put away, and I'll have my calendar open, like on a different tab. It'll pop up and remind me 5 minutes before a phone call or a meeting, so I know that I need to like wrap up what I'm doing and get ready for my call. So those are the two I use the most. Why are you not married? Because I ain't found no motherfucker worthy. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not married because it just hasn't been the right thing. I believe that when you know, and when it's right, it'll be right. And I believe in true love, and I come from a family of people who met when they were, a couple that met when they were 14 and fell madly in love and still are madly in love 40 years later, and it's amazing. So I believe that love conquers all, and I believe in marriage and all of that. So when the time is right, ladies and gentlemen, I would love to get married. So I don't know that there's an answer as to why you're not married. It's not like I'm choosing that particularly, but I'm not mad about it. It just is what it is. How long is your real hair? Okay, yes, I have hair extensions. When I started with them 2 years ago, my hair was only about this long. My hair is now this long, so I only add a little bit of length, basically. It's more just to make it more full and give me the look that I want. If you guys have more questions about hair extensions, I can make a separate video and talk about it if you're interested. Who is your favorite, Bonnie or Mac? Okay, so Bonnie and Mac are my dogs. I'll put a picture right here. Believe it or not, they've stayed quiet this whole time, which never ever happens. But Mac is a pit bull, and he is 3 years old. He'll be 4 in July. Bonnie is a Boston Terrier, and she will be 9 in October. So I've had Bonnie since she was 6 months old. She was a rescue. And then I've had Mac since he was 6 weeks old. We got him actually from his parents. And me and Tony got Mac together. We basically like share custody of him. He spends a week with Tony, and he spends usually a week or 2 weeks with me, and he goes back and forth, and he's human, and it's great. But I can't pick a favorite. That's like asking you to pick your favorite child. I love different things about each of them, and they're amazing. So I will not pick a favorite between my two dogs. They're the best. And if you follow me on Snapchat, you know that they're the best. They're hilarious. How important is appearance to you when picking a boyfriend or like a partner? So I think that's funny because I'm like, why didn't you just ask me if I'm shallow? Because it's basically what you're asking me. Realistically, like, people that I find attractive, other people might not find attractive. Sometimes I'll be like, oh my god, look at this guy I'm dating. And every one of my friends is like, holy shit, he's gorgeous. But then there's been times that I know that what I see in somebody, other people might not. I believe that that question is kind of irrelevant because we all see something different in different people. I mean, I have guys that I dated for 2 years that I look back at pictures of them and I'm like not attracted to them at all physically. Like, I do not think their physical appearance is attractive at all. But at the time, I did. You know, so I think that question is really irrelevant and actually really difficult to answer. But yeah, no, if a dude isn't jacked and tan, I got Jersey Shore in the brain. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to talk to him. There's so much more. It's confidence is my biggest thing, honestly. Confidence and paying attention and following through. But those are the biggest traits for me. It doesn't have to be like, take care of yourself. Yes, I don't want you to be smelly and like a big fat bum, but you don't have to be like a Greek god either. I think that it just all depends on the person, really. So anyways, guys, we got personal, we talked business, we talked mindset. You tried to make me choose between my fucking dogs. But I hope that was funny or informational or you enjoyed it. I'm going to try to do these a little bit more often. And like I said, I'm going to do one specifically around like woo-woo stuff. So stay tuned for that. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you give it a like and you leave me a comment. Let me know what you liked or you didn't like, would be great. If you have any more questions, or ask them below and I'll give you an answer. And hit the subscribe button to make sure you don't miss any of my videos. I try to put out as much helpful and entertaining content as I can. So thank you guys. I appreciate you so much, and go enjoy the rest of your day. Get some shit done, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.